No, I'm not. You're leveraging in a position of emotion.
My side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
They're actually trying to genocide my entire race. So what are you talking about?
Wow.
What are you talking about?
You're a white genocide guy?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of you guys. How did they find you?
Do you see
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust me?
In another diabolical piece of content, Jubilee paired Zetio's Mehdi Hasan with 20 far-right Republicans, with some even being Nazis.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that state.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt
supporters.
makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
Like Connor here, who some say Ken Paxton follows on social media. Now, Hasan has responded to some online to clear the air. When one user alleged Jubilee invited a bunch of Nazis and that Hasan agreed on those terms, he quickly rebuked the message. To be fair to me, that's not how the debate was sold. You can see my shock when they start expressing their views openly. Like that dude Connor. Little did we know till after the fact that Connor spoke at a Nick Fuentes rally. Kai Schwemmer, a fellow Groiper, would also be invited by Jubilee to participate in the so-called debate with Hasan. Schwemmer would tweet his support for Fuentes and proclaim that if one were to call themselves a conservative, well, they should also follow Fuentes. So, who is Nick Fuentes?
The feel when you're totally not pressed. The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling. Dude, it's a ceiling made of bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Oh, you haven't had sex. It's like, well, I haven't chosen to do that yet. You know? I'm choosing instead to be an historical figure. I'm choosing instead to lead an historical right-wing movement. So it's a cope. But anyway, I'm an incel. I am a proud incel. I believe that organized Jewry is extremely influential in the United States. We need to go back to burning women alive more. You know, these left-wing people, in their heart of hearts, they know they're wrong because like, they know that black people are violent. Hitler was a German statesman. You know, enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big deal. Don't tell me they're entitled to their religion. If their religion involves my Lord in hell, then they can get out of America. Oh, I'm anti-Semitic? Yeah, I on your Talmud. You think I'm anti-Semitic? You think I care what Antichrist believes? Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe. They'll complain about it. It doesn't matter. Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really cool.
Many, myself included, are disgusted by what we saw. Yet, even with all that being said, the founder, whose name is Jason Y. Lee, the founder of Jubilee, he said this to journalist Taylor Lorenz.
You mentioned like the flat earthers versus round earthers. I don't know, people that rightfully understand the earth is round. What is the benefit to sort of finding the middle ground between those two views when one is sort of objectively correct and one is a sort of deeply problematic conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it's a really good question and something that we always make sure we check ourselves too. Are we making sure that we are doing more good than harm? We said, is there a way for us to find empathy in the midst of all of these conversations? Even with something as far stretching as a conversation between a flat earther and a round earther, no matter what we might believe to be true, and I believe that the earth is round. I think it's scientifically proven.
But it's not really a belief, right? That is just like objective reality.
Quite a tell here. And on the platforming of groypers?
It's not like, hey, someone's raised their hand, they say, hey, I've got whatever, I'm an XYZ person, and we say, come on in. We'll actually do rounds of interviews with them. We'll talk to them about their ideology, their points of view, and their perspectives. And also, we do edit our videos, right? And on one hand, we don't want to favor one side or the other, but we are very careful into trying to make sure that we're not spreaders of misinformation or ideologies that might be hateful or bad or kind of reductive.
There's a lot, and I must emphasize a lot wrong here.
Regarding Jubilee, how many times have I had to say, debate culture gets us nowhere except bringing people further to the alt-right? Mehdi Hasan should know better. Like, nobody should be watching Jubilee. Nobody should be watching these debate channels anymore. What have they done to help? Yeah.
Jubilee does not generate productive discourse. And people have said this before, but I just find it so insane that the company keeps on pumping out these surrounded videos. Human rights should never be up for discussion, especially not as entertainment. None of the bigots that come on to Surrounded are going in with an open mind and willingness to learn. They have an agenda, and when you give them equal grounding, then you legitimize their harmful positions. Even if you manage to win with facts and logic, like that doesn't make them change, right? Like it is only going to like silence them for the moment and make them resentful and bitter, because you can't shame someone into like changing and being a better person.
I agree with the critiques of the TikTokers. I completely agree. I will add this. What does this accomplish? Jason Wiley went into this saying, we got to find the middle ground. We got to find the middle ground. And to a certain extent, I agree. To a certain extent. I have talked about this ad nauseum with my inner conflictions of being part of building a broader left coalition that contributes more in the direction of leftist policies that benefit the electorate that much more, and doing so by reaching people who feel like, well, they're corrupt and I'm going to become a part of MAGA. This is not far right. These are Nazi-adoring fascists. Like, I actually agree with Mehdi that the title wasn't even correct. I also think it's really weird that they don't let him know who he'll be debating. So it is a bad look. The other bad look about this is that Jason Y. Lee says that they cast people and they do rounds of interviews. So you're telling me you're doing rounds of interviews with people that will quote Nazis? And you think it's okay to air these people? Oh, well, we just want to show both sides. Why are you showing both sides of fascism versus a journalist? This is not a avenue and a medium for proper political discourse. This is hate speech. This is hate watching for views and clicks. And Jubilee is building it over and over and over again. I saw one TikToker say that Jubilee is the Fox News for Gen Z. I concur. Although it's potentially getting worse. Every single debate that they have, it's centered on saying something that is objectifying the expert, which I don't like. I don't think this does the public any good. I don't think people should be getting their news from a debate where some people are speaking at rallies for a white supremacist. And you know who is cashing in on all this? Jason Wiley and his team. Talking about we need to find middle ground. Taylor Lorenz, who, by the way, I'm going to have on my podcast, The Rick Strom Show. Go sub to it on YouTube and Spotify. When she said, well, where is the middle ground to reach with a flat earther? There isn't. There isn't. And meanwhile, Lee and his team are getting paid. This is the grossness of modern day media. I have gone on the record saying the Skip Bayless Jubilee was perfect because it is harmless. It's sports talk, it's fodder, it's debate in its proper form, which is for something that doesn't have a direct impact on our lives through public policy, debating an anti-LeBron guy against LeBron fans. Harmless. Love it. Fantastic model. Doing this, it is within reach to even ask oneself, would they platform a bunch of slave owners against one man who's enslaved? Would they put 20 Jews up against a crappy painter? They would, because they know that it would result in ad revenue. I don't buy anything that he said to Taylor Lorenz. I just don't. He might have gone into it with good intentions, but in the end, for him, cash is king. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.